So I think it was actually 3 years ago now when I made the video about my skin condition, which went viral. You might remember it actually. There was no sound on the video because that shit got copyrighted, and for the most part, you just saw me having a bath, visibly in pain, and without much of an explanation as to what was happening. Do you recognise it? Anyways, 3 years later, and I'm still as allergic to water as ever. I have allergic reactions to water, sweat, going to the toilet, dust, grass, and more. One thing I should make clear is that I've had this illness to this severity for over 5 years now, and the only sign of consistency it has actually shown is its consistency in getting worse. I have tried everything to make it less painful, but when the water is the cause of the pain, there's not that much you can do. So one of the main things that people picked up about my bath routine last time was the fact that I was washing my hair in the bath. I don't do that anymore because after years of having this illness, you kind of learn to adapt and change your routine to make the time that you spend in water as short as possible. Not that that makes much of a difference to my reaction, but I just feel like the less I do whilst in the water, surely the better. So I suppose that you would expect that I would have loads of different products and items that I would take with me into the bath, but there's not really much that I've found that helps my bathing experience. It's the water that I'm allergic to, so it doesn't really matter what soap I use or what tools I use whilst in the bath because the issue is the water. I always prepare the stuff that I'll use when I get out of the bath before I get in the bath. So I'll make sure that my moisturizers and that my deodorants and the clothes that I'm going to put on when I come out of the bath, I always make sure that they're in one place and that they're ready, because when I come out of the bath, I'm going to be in so much pain. I don't have time to be looking for some pajama bottoms and my moisturizer and my deodorant all in different places. Something I literally have to do before I have a bath is clean the area. Like, I just clean the shit out of the bath. I don't know why, it just makes me feel a little bit better about the situation. It makes me feel like at least if the bath is as clean as possible, then nothing can go too wrong, which is absolutely crazy because it can go wrong. I'm allergic to water, but I don't know, I've just kind of convinced myself that by making sure that there's no extra germs or dirt in the bath, then hopefully that will make my allergic reaction as bearable as possible. Makes no sense whatsoever, but we'll go with it. I always make sure that I put a playlist on when I get in the bath now, just to try to help me to relax. I tend to put calming music and music that really speaks to me and I feel empowers me, and I also always light some candles as well. And I'm not sure, I just feel like if I prepare the room for the bath, the better the chance I have of being in a good frame of mind, and hopefully that means I'll be able to cope with the pain better. When I run my bath, I always put this Balneum Plus bath additive into my bath because it moisturizes my skin so well, like better than any moisturizers that I can use. It creates like bubbles in the bath, so it kind of makes me feel a bit more normal, because I can't use bubble baths and stuff like that because they're perfumed, and if they don't irritate my allergic reaction more, then they'll at least irritate my eczema. So I love this bath additive because it's for pruritus, so it's for itchy skin, so it actually has ingredients in it that are meant to calm down the symptoms of itching. And honestly, for me, it has just changed my bath routine. It still obviously is a really painful experience, but by using this oil it at least gives me 5 to 10 minutes when I get in the bath without pain, and that is incredible. Like, the fact that I can lay there for 10 minutes and try to relax before the pain starts is so important. So that's why I use this oil. So I'm getting in the bath now. This video felt intrusive as hell to film, honestly. It just doesn't feel right filming something like this, but I feel like it's something that I would never be able to truly explain until I show it to you. So this is my 5 or 10 minutes that I get before the pain kicks in. I really don't look like I'm enjoying this time, but I promise you I'm just trying to relax and just trying to enjoy the bath. Before the pain really starts, I'm just taking in the music, taking in the heat and letting it relax my muscles. When I feel like I've been in the bath for long enough and the pain is getting to the point where I don't want to stay in the water anymore, you know, the point where I decide it's time to dip out. So I usually jump in the shower and just wash my body off. I just feel like it helps me to feel cleaner. Showers definitely don't feel great against my skin because of the fact that it kind of hits against my skin, but like I say, I just kind of like to rinse off. So when I get out of the shower, I just grab my towel. I don't stay in the bathroom for very long after I get out of the bath because I find that the steam and wet air really doesn't help me to recover quickly. So I tend to try and get out of the bathroom as quickly as possible, and I go straight back to my room and I immediately get in front of the fan in my room and just let that kind of like air dry me. So at the same time, I will dry myself by patting my body and patting the towel over my body, but I stand in front of the fan the whole time. And then I move on to moisturizing my body. So as you can see, the stuff that I set out before I got in the bath, I'm just moisturizing my body, putting my deodorant on, and then I take my clothes over to the bed. So the reason that my bed's not made is because when I have a bath, my mum always changes my bed sheets on that same day. So my bed was actually waiting to be made with fresh sheets just to kind of avoid the crossover between like dead skin and dirt, and like I just kind of like to make sure that I'm getting onto a clean surface with my clean skin. So now that I'm on the bed and I'm kind of dressed, like I know that what I'm wearing isn't cute, but it really is the least of my concerns at this point. Like the pain that I feel when I'm in this moment, I cannot explain to you. The fan will still be pointing on me at this point, trying to cool me down, but my blood feels so hot. Like it feels like I am on fire all over my body. It itches, it burns, it feels like I'm laying in a bed of stinging nettles. And I think the worst part about the way that an allergic reaction feels is the fact that there's nothing I can do to soothe it. Nothing helps. There's no anything. I just have to feel the pain and wait for it to stop. The reason that I struggle so much with my clothes as well when I'm having an allergic reaction is because my skin is so sensitive that it feels absolutely awful, like so overly sensitive to have my bare skin touch anything such as the bed or have anything brush against my skin. It just is so tender and sore, but sometimes the clothes just can't stay on. Like sometimes they just hurt, and I kind of just have to take them on and off until the itching calms down enough so that I can keep the clothes on without it being really uncomfortable. So this point here is kind of the sleepy stage. I'm starting to just feel exhausted from the pain. It really drains my energy more than I could ever explain. Like it literally feels like my battery levels go down to 1%, and there comes a point where I actually don't even have the energy to move around as much as I have been moving around. So I kind of just try to lay as still as possible by this point because I'm tired, I'm still in pain, it still hasn't stopped. And this is also usually the point as well where I start to feel quite sick and I can start to feel dizzy as well. So at this point I'll either fall asleep if the pain calms down enough, or I will usually try and get up, maybe go and get a drink or go and get something to eat, and then my mum comes in and rescues me with food.
Are you eating food out the fridge or you sit to go to eat? So your dad's at McDonald's now? Yeah. Oh, okay, what's wrong? What colour?
No, just cheeseburger.
Triple.
Double cheeseburger, chips.